Australian authorities want to acquire a new class of 6 optionally crewed ships for the country's Navy as part of a cooperative effort with the US Navy. The plan is for these vessels, each of which will have 32 vertical launch system cells, to provide additional distributed magazine depth at a lower cost to bolster the capabilities of the country's larger surface combatants. This is part of a broader plan to transform and roughly double the size of the Royal Australian Navy's major surface combatant fleets by the 2040s, which also includes the acquisition of up to 11 new general-purpose frigates. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's government released an unclassified summary of the new overall plan for the Royal Australian Navy's surface fleets, which is the product of an independent analysis that builds out from the 2023 Defence Strategic Review, DSR, yesterday. In addition to the planned acquisition of the 6 optionally crewed ships and between 7 and 11 general-purpose frigates, the review also calls for trimming back the planned fleet of new Hunter-class frigates from 9 to 6 ships, a cut to Arafura-class offshore patrol vessel, OPV, procurement from 12 to 6 ships, and the acquisition of additional small patrol boats. A major planned upgrade and life extension program for the Royal Australian Navy's existing Anzac-class frigates is also now set to be axed, though some of those ships are still going to receive enhanced maritime strike capabilities. The inclusion of the 6 optionally crewed vessels in the new Royal Australian Navy fleet plan is particularly eye-catching, as this is a type of ship not in any way in service in the country, or anywhere else in the world currently. The new Surface Fleet Review does not explicitly name the US Navy program the Royal Australian Navy would hope to piggyback on when it comes to its future optionally crewed vessels. However, the US Navy is in the midst of a program to develop and acquire a class of large uncrewed surface vessels, LUSV, with similar sounding capabilities, including between 16 and 32 vertical launch system cells. In 2020, the US Navy awarded contracts to 6 different companies: Austal USA, Bollinger Shipyards Lockport, Gibbs & Cox, Huntington Ingalls Industries, HII, Lockheed Martin, and Marinette Marine, currently a subsidiary of Italy's Fincantieri Marine, to conduct LUSV design study work, and the service announced it had awarded modifications to each one of those deals 2 years later. The Navy, in cooperation with the Pentagon, has also been conducting various tests involving experimental larger optionally crewed designs, including live-fire missile launches. The service's goal now is to begin acquiring actual operational LUSVs starting in the 2025 fiscal year. Though it remains to be seen what LUSV design the US Navy might pick for its own use, it's interesting to note that Austal USA's parent company is Australian and has been particularly prolific in recent years when it comes to releasing renderings of various tiers of uncrewed ship designs. The company has also already proposed concepts of operations involving Hunter-class frigates acting as crewed command ships for groups of different uncrewed surface vessels. Australia's future optionally crewed vessels will rely on Aegis Baseline 9 or later, which is the combat system planned to be operated by the Hunter-class frigates from delivery, and by the Hobart-class destroyers post-upgrade, the new Surface Fleet Plan notes. The Royal Australian Navy's 3 7,700-ton displacement Hobart-class destroyers are currently its most modern and capable surface combatants. As part of the upgrades mentioned here, the Hobarts are set to gain the ability to fire Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles, which will offer Australia a significant boost in maritime firepower. The destroyers will also see their Harpoon anti-ship missiles replaced with Naval Strike Missiles, NSM, a stealthy design with secondary land attack capability that is increasingly popular around the world, including in the United States.